offered a bid in those houses because I was from the north didn't mean that I was socially shunned by those people that were in that fraternity. But it was pretty perplexing to me as to why they would still have that unwritten rule when the war had been over, like I said, for well over 100 years. But that kind of cultural identity, I think most people from the north would have difficulty understanding in the south. So is there regional discrimination? Not formally, but you'll notice that people from Texas know who isn't from Texas.
Right.
You know that people from the South recognize when you're a Yankee, which is how you're referred to. Now, if someone is offended by being called a Yankee, they're a little too sensitive for my standards, but it was a new and different culture that I was a part of. I eventually adjusted to it, and I had a great time, and I got to experience things that I would have never experienced if I wouldn't have gone to school in the South. So on the one hand, there was a certain level of discrimination, but on the other hand, it was eye-opening from my perspective.
Would you do anything to change it?
Well, it's kind of tough because I can't change where I'm from. So would I have spoken out against it? Probably more likely today since I'm an adult, but as a college student, one of the goals is to try to fit in and also figure out how this thing works. And I figured out how it worked. And I ended up making some friends that I had for a long time, and so long-term wise, I wasn't scarred or impacted by that discrimination. So that's not really the kind of discrimination that most people think of when they hear the word discrimination.
Right.
Okay.
Did it change your view on like people in general?
I don't know if it necessarily changed my view on people in general. I think it opened my eyes up to the fact that people look at things from different perspectives. If you take a look at this election, the people in the Midwest, in Wisconsin, in Minnesota, in Michigan, they have a view about the government, and they express their view to the surprise of the entire nation. And that's because their perspective is different than people that live on the coasts. And I think we're starting to find that out, that people that live in rural areas have a much different life experience than people that live in urban areas. And so if I think there's a divide in our country, I think that's one that